have a special guest for you as promised, former Falcon and former Charger. You loving me, you know him. It's Michael the Turner on the Bossman Show. Mike, what's up, my man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, Bossman?
I'm doing good, Mike. Good to have the show, man. I told you at the stadium, man, me and John be fans of yours. Been fans of yours for years, man. So it's an honor to have you on the show with us, man, because we've been loving you for life, man. And John, Mike, used to have you in fantasy football league, man, and you won his league, man. He want to tell you about that real quick.
You sure did, Mike. Dude, 2008. I know you remember 2008, right?
Yeah, I love 2008.
2008. That's my man. 17 rushing TDs. 17 rushing TDs, man. My dudes in my fantasy league, Mike, they were pissed, bro. They were pissed every week. I just slapped Michael Turner down on the table, like boom.
Yeah, I was guaranteed to get you something. If I wasn't getting the yards, I was getting the touchdown. I was gonna get you some points.
Yep, sure were, man. That was a great season all the way around for you, and then coming back in 2010 strong too. Those were 2 great years that you had on the field, not only from a fantasy perspective, but obviously just in general. And for sure, man. We definitely have been following your career throughout. So glad to have you on the program.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Glad y'all invited me.
No, man, this time of year, man, football's back in session, back in season. You get that itch to play still. Zevon Kite said, man, you get back on the field. I can still ball a little bit. I ain't that old. I can get on the field, still do my thing a little bit. Does that cross your mind this time of year?
Yeah, I'm always curious about, man, can I run? Can I still outrun some of these guys? I never touched the waters, but I'm letting these young guys have it now. I'm old in football years,
Well, yeah, in football years, I'm real old, so I'm geriatric in football years. But speaking of retirement, filling that void after players retire from the game is something that I would imagine you have to think about as your season not your season, but your career kind of progresses. Is there something that you had in mind while you played that you look forward to when you did retire, and how do you kind of fill that void of competitive juice that flows through you, after you've stopped playing the game?
You know what? I was so, while I was playing, I was so focused on what we had going on with Atlanta. I wasn't worried about life after football that much. It's in the back of your mind, but it's like I gotta take advantage of this opportunity that I have right now to, go out there and compete at the highest level that there is, and but always taking care of family and doing something after, investing money. As long as I did that, I had enough time to stop and think about what I want to do after.
No, Mark, to that same point, with your basketball knowledge about football, your just knowledge of the game, you thought about getting into coaching, be collegiately or professionally or in high school to kind of shut up knowledge of game of football and how successful you were as running back and on offensive football, the way you know offensive football.
Yeah, you know what, I talk about it all the time, coaching. Coaching, I got a lot of respect for coaches. You got to deal with so many personalities. And on, the 3 levels, high school, college, and pro, I love college football. I would love to do that. But then I got to think, like, how can I recruit these guys? I never had to recruit before. So, like, how can I do that? And then pro level, I can deal with the pros much easier. But it's just such a cutthroat league, If I can, I'd love to get my foot in the door in coaching professionally if that's available. But high school is no way, no chance. I don't know if I have patience for these teenagers.
I feel you. Now I'm 30. I feel you.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got teenagers in the house. I'll tell you right now, they will test your patience.
Yeah, no, but it's all fun. I like seeing the little kids play. I was at a high school football game last weekend, and seeing my little nephew play. One of my nephews play, and it was fun. That was getting my little competitive juice going. It was like taking me back to the days of high school when you was like clearly the best player on the field, and you was out there dominating.
You get out there, right? Folks, we got Michael Turner here on the Bossman Show. Former Charger and Falcon, number 33 in your hearts, doing big things for your family and your Chargers out there, folks. Now, Mike, we're about to open up the Mercedes-Benz Stadium officially on Sunday. Now, let's go back to the Dome for a minute. What is your most memorable moment of the Georgia Dome? I played there, when I was at Tennessee State. You played there at the Falcons. So, where's the most memorable moment of the Dome? What's your memories for it take forever from that dunk, for they blow it up, wherever they blow it up? What's your memory, your life, that's your life about the Dome?
It'll definitely be my first game there, coming off signing a free agent contract, and come to Atlanta, I have to prove myself because, I was a backup in San Diego, so it's not like guys had a lot of, faith in me around the league like that. I just had so little film on me of being a good football player. I just wanted to show the world and what the Falcons seen in me, and they made the right decision by signing me. And I ended up going out there and breaking the single game rushing record for the Falcons, and that was a great feeling. And plus, it was we opened the season at home, and it was good to start off 1-0 after the bad seasons the Falcons was having before I got there.
Yeah, and also one of the more memorable moments was when you and I won our fantasy league together, right?
Oh yeah.
That fantasy championship that you and I took down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we need to retire it in your man cave. Retire my jersey in your man cave.
That's funny, man. The other thing I wanted to spin off on with JR talking about the Georgia Dome, other stadiums around the league. I mean, you've been to all these different stadiums. Was there a place that you look forward to going to? Was there a place that when you saw it on the schedule you were just like, you hang your head like, oh man, we got to go to that? That place is crap. Like, I hate playing there. Or it's such a long distance travel. Like San Diego, you're traveling maybe all the way across the country to play, and that has a set of challenges. So what are some of the stadiums that you liked or disliked playing at?
Okay, the stadium I liked, really, honestly, that I like going to every year was New Orleans. And I just because it was the atmosphere there. It's a rivalry game. You're on the road. Everybody's against you, and we just had so much respect for each other out there on the field. And I don't know, it was just magical during that time period with Mike Smith and Sean Payton going at it. And the stadiums I hated the most, I hated Tampa because Tampa has a terrible visitors locker room. And all the California stadiums. I'm glad everybody's moving and getting new stadiums in California because, it was really outdated, and it was time for a change.
Well, and that brings us to the next point. The Chargers moving from San Diego to L.A., go back to your San Diego days a little bit. What were some of your memories playing for San Diego? Were you upset to see them leave San Diego? Did you have kind of I don't want to say a partnership, but, you had a little stake in that city because you started your career there. Were you kind of upset to see him move to L.A. at all?
Yeah. I understand it's a business part, it's a business aspect to, getting a new stadium and, teams moving around. But I would have loved to see a brand new stadium in downtown San Diego, right there, right off the water. San Diego's a beautiful city. They have great fans. And it's unfortunate they couldn't get a deal done there. And now we got two teams in L.A. I don't know if that's overdoing it. I don't know how that's going to play out, but, San Diego is always a special place in my heart. It's a team that drafted me. I loved every moment of being there. I had to be patient behind LT, but I just took the opportunity to sit back and learn from him what it takes to be a professional and end up being a Hall of Fame football player. So if I had to sit behind somebody, I'd rather be somebody else in the Hall of Fame.
You got there right. It had to be great to behind a Hall of Fame and learn from him. It had to help you out a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, most definitely helped me out for sure. And, I was just learning the ropes, and we just had a great team there. All the guys, offense, defense, the team chemistry. We always hung out together, always had a good time with each other. We enjoyed each other's company, and you don't find that in every locker room. And I absolutely loved it there.
Well, speaking of LT, this is kind of a little bit off script here for the interview, but did you ever sit on the sidelines? Because at home, when you watch him, or in the stands, when you watch that dude run, he's jaw-dropping some of the runs that dude made and some of the plays that he made. Did you ever sit on the sidelines and go, damn, how did you do that, bro?
Yeah, because we have totally different styles. So, the runs he pulled off, it was amazing, I've had confidence in myself that I'd go out there and do the same thing, but just in a different way, if you understand what I'm saying. But I can clearly see how special he was. I liked him before I even got to San Diego. I was like, man, that's a good running back. I can't emulate him, but he's a good guy to watch. He's exciting. He can catch the ball at the backfield. Can run, got amazing cuts. It's like, what bad can you say about the guy?
You got that right. Now, Mike, back to stadiums for 1 second. what's it like to play in Oakland on the baseball field? That had to be like annoying. Play on second base out there, third base out there, get your arm scraped up.
That was another reason why I hated them California States. One of them had a baseball field out there, and I played on there. I think maybe once or twice, and it was terrible, man. It was first of all, it's weird, got this baseball diamond in the middle of the football field, but it was like, man, please don't get tackled in the dirt, because you're getting burns like serious turf burns out there on that stuff, and it's hard to get in the shower after that.
Whenever I used to watch that, JR, I'd watch that on TV, right? And they have the baseball diamond right in the middle. There's like a pickup game. Like you guys just decided to play a pickup game out there. Like, that's what it always looked like.
That's exactly what it felt like. It's like, this is the NFL. Can we have our own field? Can we get 100 yards just for football around here?
Exactly.
But it's crazy. It's crazy that teams used to like share football fields and stuff like that.
Now, this is behind the scenes for you. What was your game day routine like for you guys to go out to play for the Falcons or the Chargers? Well, how's your the game day for you? Was it get to stay like 2 hours early, stretch, do your warm up? Talk to how it got you in that mindset to play every Sunday for your two teams there.
I was make sure. Yeah, I got to stay pretty early. I like to get there early, sit down and meditate, relax, get my mind right for a game, and be able to stretch and properly warm up before we actually have to go out there, because the NFL is different than college. College, they give us plenty of time as a team to go warm up as a team, and that's all you need. But in the NFL, you got to kind of warm up on your own, because we go through it so fast. It's not really a true warm up. So you have to do some things on your own to really get prepared for the game.
So, Mike, the athletic nature, I guess the best way to put this is athletes play a bunch of different sports coming up, and you may not settle on the best sport for you until you might be in like the middle of your high school years, or even some people like in the beginning of their college years. Were there other sports that you played coming up, and would there be another sport that you would have tried or would have liked to have tried professionally?
I ran track in high school. I loved it. I loved the competitiveness of just racing somebody. A lot of people didn't. When I went out there, I was a big kid, and people didn't expect me to have that much speed. But I went out there and did well. I was pretty fast. I always knew I was fast, but I just had to go out there and prove it. And I felt like track was the only way for me to prove that I was fast to everybody, because people wouldn't believe me. But I made it downstate and state of Illinois in track. I didn't make the finals or anything, but I was just happy to make it that far. That's a big accomplishment for me. Being the size that I am. What else? Basketball, I never did basketball. I knew that wasn't my thing. But
come on, man. You could have been. You could have rolled like Charles Barkley, bro. Charles Barkley, man. You could have been that.
I'll probably do Charles Barkley golf swing.
Yeah.
Okay, go. I wish I would have learned how to play golf in high school. I wish I would have did that. But we didn't have a golf team or anything like that. But and sometimes I see lacrosse. That's pretty interesting. Rugby, stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of soccer too. You never know.
Listen, man. You could have played linebacker for sure. You got the linebacker build. You would have messed some people up playing linebacker. Now,
yeah.
I don't know if you like sticking your nose in that way, but running backs, as far as I'm concerned, having watched you play many times, I know you don't care about mixing it up. You will put the hurt on somebody.
Yeah, I don't care about mixing it up. No, but I really like to play corner too, because like I said, I was fast, and people didn't think I was fast, but I like to play corner. I like other than running back, like a cornerback is like my favorite position, because it's just the natural challenge of shutting somebody down. I just love the mindset a cornerback has to have being out there on the football field.
What about tennis? You ever play any tennis?
Oh no, I never played tennis.
See, that might be good for you, because you got the agility, you got the lateral quickness, and then if you charge the net on somebody, if you charge the net on me, I drop my racket and go to work.
You know what? I really enjoy playing badminton and racquetball. You go to the little field house or something. You got those little activities, those little rooms they got over there for those kind of sports. I used to participate in that stuff.
My man just threw out barbecue sport on us, bro. Badminton's a barbecue sport. Like, come on.
Yes. Tetherball as well. Foursquare. I do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Professional Foursquare League. They have that.
Yeah, they have a Foursquare League?
Yes, they do.
Oh, man, I would try that.
I learned about it last year.
Like, dude, they got a league for everything, bro. Everything.
I know. Even the league, even the league for video games, man. There's a league for everything.
There you go.
Exactly. the Madnet. So the Madden players. Because Mike, you and I both know there are guys who be in their man caves all day long playing Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Madden, UK.
Yeah.
How about go out and find you a lady or something? Working on that Xbox controller. Come on, man. Get your mind right.
Hey, man, that's a great job. You can sit on your butt, play video games, and get paid. That sounds good to me. That sounds like a good deal. And order pizza. That's all they do.
Exactly. Oh man, Mike, it's been great to have you on the show, bro. We gotta do this again with you real soon, man. I'll see you Sunday at the stadium, man. Can't wait to see you again, man.
Yeah.
We'll chop up there at the stadium, bro.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you too, man. Maybe be on the show later on this season when the Falcons dominating.
No doubt, for sure. We gotta do that, bro. No doubt.
Okay, all right.
All right, folks. Michael Burton, him the Bossman Show, your former Falcon and Charger legend here with John and myself. After the break, we got more Bossman Show for you. Stay tuned.
All your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, a Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is simple. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft, whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft. Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success, and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com, or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24, or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Get the album, the single, CD, and tapes. Get the album, the single, CD, and tapes. Get the album, the single, CD, and tapes. Get the album, the single, CD, and tapes.
Yo, folks, welcome back to the Journey of the Bossman Show. We have special guests for you. We promised them to you. The coach for the Vanderbilt Commodores. The girl will be doing great things this year. The one and only Coach Derek Mason on the show with JR and John. Coach, glad to have you back on the line with us. How have things been for you this summer?
JR and John, man, it's good to be here. But let me tell you, it's been a good summer. We had to get back on that grind and, really clean up some issues and try to get ourselves back to being relevant. And, part of that, man, is just making sure that you're about the daily grind, about doing what you need to do in order to get yourself, a little closer to where you need to be.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, give us a little feel about your team. A lot of people saying you guys are going to go 0-8 in conference. I don't buy that. I think you guys have got immensely better. So what are you guys expecting to anchor down this year? What do you think your team will do this year from last year? Think y'all going to win 4 conference games or you just trying to win a game at a time? What do you think about your guys going forward this year? While people around you saying you're not going to do anything, we know what you got going over there on West End. Tell us people about what you got going on West End, Coach.
Here's what I know. Any place I've been 4 years' time, I've had an opportunity with the people around me to make wherever I've been better. So right now, in looking back at 2014, we needed to be more competitive. And, I talked about that, but in looking at being more competitive, we had to come up with some tangible things to help our guys understand exactly, what we were talking about. And so we came up with a phrase, RTI, and that stands for relentless, tough, intelligent. Those are things that are measurable. So as we looked at it, not only do we need to compete, but we need to be a certain type of football team. We had to be a football team that played, with a relentless abandonment, playing 4 quarters, 60 minutes every game. We needed to be tough. And I'm not talking about physically tough. I'm talking about mentally being able to overcome, rough situations, because that's what football is. And then that intelligent piece gets back to taking care of the football at the quarterback position, making sure that, we don't hurt ourselves or beat ourselves with penalties, and just making sure that in red zone situations and third down situations on both sides of the ball, that we become a dominant team. And that's not rhetoric. That's fact. If we clean up those measures, we're a better football team. So that's what the work has been about in 2015.
Now, Coach, you had mentioned, RTI, being relentless, tough, and intelligent. And one thing that I would throw out there is being focused. In order to be focused, you've got to be relentless, tough, and intelligent. And to me, being a focused athlete is so important, especially when you're playing in the SEC, man. If you drop your guard down for 1 second on defense, or if you make a mistake on offense, it could be the game. It's just a tough league to play in. Can you talk a little bit about how you try to keep your guys in the game and focused on game day?
Well, what it gets back to, when the focus comes with maturity. A year ago, we played 33, young guys, 33 freshmen. Some of those were red shirts, some of those were true freshmen. And that's not an excuse, that's a fact. You can't make excuses in this game. What you do in this game, you realize what you have, you work through the issues, and you get better. And realizing, who we were and where we've been, we're talking about a more mature football team. And so I wish I can, tell my 14, 16-year-old daughters, to be more focused. But it's not just about telling them. Okay, man, it's about, intentional action. Okay, what does that look like? And so for our guys, okay, it's about everything that they do. I tell our guys all the time, everything that you do matters. How you eat, how you sleep, how you prepare for class, how you prepare for football, what you do in between, the white lines, what you do, in the locker room, how you treat people, it all matters. So you can't just talk about doing this sometimes. It's got to be an all-the-time mentality. And Does that sound hard for young people? Yes, but that's part of gaining that focus and that edge, you know, to be the type of player, to be the type of impact teammate that you want to be for this football team, and that takes intentional action. So it's more about intentional actions, and intentional actions will give you the focus that you're talking about.
And Coach, I want to get your insight into this. How do you and your staff go about coaching a younger team versus coaching an older junior, senior, late team like you maybe had at Stanford, maybe a lot of junior and seniors? How do you go about coaching a lot of redshirt freshmen, true sophomores, and true freshmen? How do you all go about dealing with those guys in their different levels? Do you try to be like more lenient or break it down a little bit more or give them the calls a little simpler? How do you go about that? You got a lot of young guys on your roster.
Well, what you do is you start with the foundation, and with that, we gave these guys a lot of football last year, okay? And with that, it wasn't like they weren't ready for it, but I think you have to make sure that they comprehend what you're giving them. So if that means scaling it back, okay, and giving these guys identity within what they do so that they can gain confidence, then that's what you do. We spent the better part of the spring, okay, on defense. We only had 4 calls, okay, all spring. That whole practice was 4 calls. And those 4 calls were predicated on us being a more physical, better communicating, and more aggressive defense. Period. That's what we wanted to be. We wanted to play fast, communicate, and be aggressive. And the only way you can do that is to be sure of what you're doing. If you have no idea what you're doing and you're out there, now, that leads to apprehension. You don't communicate, you don't play fast, and you don't play aggressive. And we've taken that philosophy on both sides of the ball. So it was about establishing a foundation, okay? And as we got through spring, we started to see our guys play at a high level. They started to be confident in what they were doing. And then you say, okay, well, let's go to stage 2, or what we call in football, football 102. We got past the 101. Now it was time to go to 102. And as we've gone through the summer, we've been able to drop in some 103. Not quite ready for some 104, but on some 103, educational tools right now. Let me tell you, these guys have been able to dive in, play fast, and right now they're confident. As is every other college football team. Everybody has the same hope right now in 2015, that they play fast, that they understand exactly what their schemes are about, and that they go out and play with bad intentions to try to get what's on the other side.
And, Coach, can you pinpoint some guys for John and listeners and myself who have stepped up this offseason and shown you that they're ready to football 102, 103, and 104 from you and the staff?
Well, as we look at it, and I'll start on the offensive side of the ball, I really hate to get into individuals because we've moved away from the individual concept. It's not about individual, okay, it's about team concept. Individuals, may make up teams, but teams win games. Individuals don't. But as I look at, where we are, I think up front on the offensive line, you've got one of your own, from Atlanta, Delonzo Crooks, who needs to be an impact player, for us this year. But as I look at that veteran offensive line, you're talking about guys, Will Holden, Andrew Jelks, and you look at, where we're sitting, inside, with our guard situation. Spencer Pulley's going to line up for us at center, but Jake Bernstein, has played a lot of games here. So you're talking about a veteran offensive line who's gotten stronger and better. So I'm confident that group's going to, lead the way or pave the way for us. Outside at the receiver position, C.J. Duncan stepped on the scene a year ago and got his feet wet, made some plays. Latavius Rayford did the same thing. But there's guys that are, really untested. Trent Sherfield, who looks to have a breakout season. Quintera sitting outside. Chris Quintera sitting outside, who is a veteran now and understands exactly what we need. So we'll see, how these guys progress. We expect them to have a good season, but they've got to show that, in what they do. At the running back position, we know about Ralph Webb. Everybody talks about Ralph Webb, but people aren't giving our backup running back or, our second running back, Dallas Rivers, who's from, he went to Stevenson High School, and this kid averaged 4.7 yards a carry last year, in a backup role. So at 6'1", 228 pounds, he's something that's special, and I think he's going to do some great things for us. And then I look at, where we're at the quarterback position, and Johnny McCrary, okay, and Wade Freeback both have played. Johnny played more games. Johnny had a chance a year ago to play late for us in the season. And, he did some great things. But I think all those guys have matured. As we move to the defensive side of the ball, you have a chance to look at what we are in front. And with Caleb Bazukute, Jay Woods, and Adam Butler, you're talking about three guys who played a lot of football here. Okay, and they're primed. Caleb is the only old guy that we have, but all these guys in the cycle, whether it be Nephi Lalau, backing up, whether it's Wiley Tyndall, whether it's Saquon Clark, Torrey Agee, we finally have depth on the line. So we feel good about where they're at. Our linebacking core is going to set the tone for what we do, led by, Darian Herring, also out of Stevenson, big-time athlete, side-to-side player. Next to him, all-freshman SEC performer, Nigel Bowden. And then when you look at what's happening outside between Zach Cunningham and being able to utilize Stephen Weatherly, who's also from Atlanta, who's probably one of the top outside linebackers, outside pass rushers in this conference. And we feel pretty good about the pressure we can bring. And then this secondary, without a doubt, looks to make an impact. They do. I mean, Torrin McGaster right at one corner. And then you come back and you got Torrin Ferguson at the other corner, along with Trey Herndon, Jamel McIntosh playing safety, with Andrew Williamson, Orrin Burks. I mean, the safety corner position is finally deep in the secondary. So we're somewhat young, but this group is experienced, and now it's time to ride.
Currently joined by Vanderbilt head football coach Derek Mason. And Coach, I just wanted to, lay it out there on the line. You're my type of guy. You're my type of coach, talking about team, talking about the RTI. I love it. I love what I'm hearing from you. And in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before the team breaks through and starts to see that success that I know is going to come. I'm interested to hear about the team aspect that you spoke of. That's such a big thing to me. I'm really not a fan of the individual nature I see sometimes out there in different sports, including football. How do you go about building that team culture? And do you actively recruit guys that have already made that realization in life and team sports that you have to be a member of that team and be team first? Or do you kind of say, hey, when they get here, we can coach them up and we can break them of that individual line of thinking that they may have when they come in?
Well, it's somewhat difficult when you come into a situation where you have some older guys who have played under a different regime and they've been picked up some different habits and maybe a different philosophy, and now you're asking them to change. It's easy to recruit to what you want, and that has nothing to do with stars. Because I can tell you, I've been coaching football for 22 years, and here's what I know. I know that stars don't mean anything. Stars are what they are, somebody's evaluation of a player. You have to look inside a player to realize whether or not the character, the football IQ, and the will and love of the game are in them. And if they don't have it, then they don't have it. I don't care if you're a five-star player. Okay, if you don't love football, there ain't a whole lot I can do with it. And I'm just being honest. And so I look for young men who represent, what our school represents. Okay, we talk about our brand consistently. We want what we call a Vanderbilt man, somebody who's willing to push past adversity and understand that it's never going to be easy. The journey's going to be hard. So with that, it's got to be about the work. Okay, you can talk about it, but it's not about just talking about it. It's about being about it. You got to come in every day and work harder today than you did yesterday so that you can be better tomorrow. And that's what it comes down to. There is no shortcutting the work. So as these young men have had a year to settle into what my philosophy is, we've been able to establish 2 recruiting classes in that time that get it, and that have moved forward towards what we're trying to do. And let's build something great here. A lot of these young men don't come to Vanderbilt to be good. They come here to be great. You're going to be challenged in the classroom, but when we get between the white lines, don't believe that anybody in this conference or anybody that you play is going to give you a break because you look intelligent or because you go to Vanderbilt. It doesn't work like that. This is the SEC. If you want to play in this conference, you better bring the big boy pads, a lunch pail, and a hard hat. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for young men who get it, who got that energy, who got that swag, who understand what it is to be about something more than just playing the game. You got to be all-encompassing. And if you can do that, Coach Mason's going to come get you wherever you're at.
Yes, indeed. And to all the high school kids out there listening to the show today, Coach Mason's a cool guy. I know him personally. Go to Vanderbilt. It's all 3.5 hours away. Coach, I'm going to do it for you today. Go to Vanderbilt. 3.5 hours away. I prefer Vandy over Georgia, me personally. So go to Vanderbilt. 3.5 hours away.
Man.
Coach Mason, cool guy. Me and John endorse him. If you want to go play in the SEC, go play Vandy. Got West End, great area. Great food up and down West End. Great mall, Upper Mills Mall. Great downtown. And you get a great education from Vanderbilt University. Is a great place to be. And also, if you get injured, sports medicine is excellent. Great hospital for adults and kids. Isn't that right, Coach?
Oh, you got it. Listen, the great thing about Nashville is this, and there's a lot of great cities, and you live in one. The great thing about Nashville is this, especially when you're talking about Vanderbilt and why the student athletes should look at Vanderbilt University. You're talking about one of the fastest growing cities in the country, and Nashville is a city of opportunity. We're talking about professional sports. We're talking about networking opportunities. We're talking about when you look at entertainment, whether it's music, whether it's plays, shows, anything you want to see, it's really, here in Nashville. So you can touch a lot of it. When you talk about opportunities to play in the SEC, hey, listen, the SEC is the SEC. Best conference in college football. Then the last part of that equation is this. When you look at Vanderbilt, you're talking about trying to brand yourself or identify yourself with the best school academically in this conference. Bar none. That's not, well, maybe it is. It is. And so as you start to look at brand and an opportunity for yourself, this place is not really a 4-year decision. It's a 4-year decision. You can do a lot of things with a Vanderbilt degree, but the networking and the people that you meet along the way really help propel you and put you in a different bracket. And what I would say to you is enjoy it. Young people, enjoy being recruited, but understand exactly what you want. And, you want to get in the best car you can and drive it till the wheels fall off. That's what I would say.
Well, Coach, JR and I, we like to talk about leadership when we have a head coach, whether it be football, basketball, baseball on the show. It's such a huge part of what you do, especially, running the football program at a major university. It's something that, the people, the players, the university, students, alumni, everybody looks to you as the leader of that football program. What does it mean to you to be a leader, and what type of leadership style do you have?
Leadership to me is all about being able to make sure that you lay a foundation, of solid work that looks like exactly what you say you are. Because here's what young people do. If you say one thing and do another, what happens is it just becomes false bravado for these young people today. What they want to see is somebody walk the walk. So if you're going to talk about being great, if you're going to talk about working hard and making sure that you uphold what it is to be a Vanderbilt man, then that's exactly what you have to be about. But more than that, you have to continue to put these young people in situations that aren't just about propping them up, but showing them what it is, to make it to the other side. Adversity and issues are just a part of life. But what I want to make sure that I can do is develop problem solvers. There's two types of people in this world, limited and limitless. Okay, limited people you put on a shelf because they can have a tag put on them. Limitless people don't see issues. Okay, what they do is when they start to problem solve, and as they problem solve, okay, they find themselves in the midst of provocative thoughts, okay, and being able to be proactive. And that's what I talk about to our young people, making sure not only do I mentor that, not only do I ask for that, okay, and work to that standard, but I hold them to that same standard. And I think that's what leadership is. It's not just what you command, okay, and it's what you're about, it's what you mentor, it's what you model every day. And that's what I try to do. I try to be about, that leadership quotient, that leadership model, and making sure that I'm mentoring these young people. Now, for the second part of that question, you have to repeat it for me because I moved on that tangent. So come back to me with it. Go ahead, hit me with it.
Yeah, Coach John wanted to know what kind of leader you are personally. How do you go about teaching your team about leadership, and what are some exercises you all do to force them to become better men and better leaders to help the football team, but also help them in life going forward?
Well, our leadership style is more hands-on. I trust our young men. First of all, I call them young men because that's what they are. It's not always about the good decisions that you make. It's about the poor decisions that they make, but just holding these young men accountable for that. And so, with me, it's about pure honesty. I try to make sure that these young men up, but I talk to them about the difference between ideal self and real self. Ideal self is what you want to be. Real self is what you are. And just trying to make sure that they can work as closely as they can to try to hit that mark of being of moving towards ideal, but understanding where they are. And so that's about accountability. For me, I talk consistently, with our young men. And when I say talk, I open my door. My office door is always open. They drop in. I check on our guys just to make sure what they're doing academically, if they have any problems socially. But more than that, I'm trying to invest in these guys. And so these guys see me now differently than they saw me 12 months ago. When you have a coaching change, some of these guys are hurt in the process, and they've got feelings about how things have happened. And so what you have to do is get these young men to trust. And so it's not so much about judging these young men all the time. It's about loving them. And then on the other side of that, you can get trust. And anytime you have trust, you can move forward. So that's what type of leader I believe I am. That's what I think I've been able to do with this football team, is we've been able to make hires like James Dobson, like Andy Ludwig. These are men that not only know how to win, but they know how to teach. They know how to build relationships. And they've gotten these young men to understand what trust is. And so with that, I think this program is ready to ascend and go a long ways. But it's still about the work that you got to put in every day to make sure that trust is never breached.
Coach, the one thing, and I don't want to belabor the point, I know we talked about it extensively here over the last couple of minutes, in leadership, you had mentioned leading by example and, trust. You talked about trust a lot. To me, it's so important, especially in the college football world. We've seen so many times where a coach comes in, recruits, then leaves. And
right.
That building that trust level up and, being a leader by example, to me, is a surefire way to earn the respect and the trust of your kids. And once you do that, you're able to then, teach them about the game, teach them about life, and they suck it up and they eat it up because they trust you and they respect you. And I just want to give you kudos on that. I think it's just a very refreshing and good thing to hear from a man in your position.
Well, thank you. I think you touched on something that I probably need to, address as well. People ask me all the time, okay, well, what happens if and when you win? Well, first of all, we'll find our way to that. That's going to come, but you got to do all the work in between to get there. But I didn't come here to be a transitional coach. I came here to be a transformational coach. So I'm not worried about the next job. Last time I checked, I had a pretty good job where I was. But we're always looking to challenge ourselves. This job to me is the best job on the planet. People say it's tough. That's great. That's great. I mean, I've always been about, challenges. But in this challenge, I know that in building something great and doing it with young men that you like being around who understand the significance of what they're doing, I sleep at night. Okay, I worry about these young men all the time, but I sleep at night, and I understand, what to whom much is given, much is expected. So, with these kids, I tell them all the time, football is a privilege, not a right. And I feel the same about the responsibilities I've been given. So, thank you for the acknowledgement. I appreciate it.
And Coach Mason, I got some good news for you. I have decided this season, as of last week, I'll be primary color covering Vanderbilt and Tennessee State for my college football coverage. That means you'll be seeing a lot of me this year. I'll be covering you guys, and covering your players. So, Coach, I'll make a commitment to you all because I believe in you all. I will be covering Tennessee State and Vanderbilt this year. Not Georgia State. I'll be doing you guys. I'll be in Nashville a lot, Coach. So lunchtime, some lunches, some dinners, man. Come out there and see you guys. Because I told John, I told my assistant, look here, I want to cover Vanderbilt. I want to cover Tennessee State, my alma mater. I want to cover those teams because they got it going on. I believe in them. I believe in their coaches, and they come on this show and respect the show, and I love what they're all about. So I'm going to cover them, give them the coverage they need for in ATL. So people in Atlanta can see what's going on at Vandy and TSU and support you guys where me and John will support you going this season.
Coach, just know that if it's snowing, okay, Coach, if it's snowing, you're gonna have to go up to the press box to see JR because he ain't going out on that field.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's funny. That is lame. Hey, listen, we got a Parker for him.
Yes, indeed. There you go, Coach.
He needs it, man.
Oh, that's hilarious. But no, hey, I definitely appreciate, the platform that you guys are putting out there, and it's great. It's great to have a voice, a following, outside the greater Tennessee area that really, encompasses, some of our student athletes. Because believe me, whether it's Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Vanderbilt is about taking care of home. And obviously, home is the state of Tennessee, but when you look at the neighboring schools, we have just as many student athletes from Georgia and Alabama, and I think and that's important because of platform where people in the city of Atlanta and some of your other listeners that are in neighboring cities get a chance to hear about some of their student athletes that they watched in the greater Atlanta area, or maybe even outside of that. And just follow them and see how they're doing. So, kudos to you, kudos to your producers, and that's a fantastic platform that you guys are providing.
And Coach, I can tell you this: anytime you want it, you have it here on the Bossman Show with Jared and John. We love having you on. Your visits are always great, and we love hearing your perspective because you give it to us real. It's not the same canned answers. You give us real answers, and we appreciate that from you and guys like yourself, Coach.
Well, I tell you what, this is one of my favorite shows, and I love the people that I'm talking to. And here's what I'll do: anytime you want me to come on, and you hit me, I'll make sure I stay in contact with you, and we'll make sure that we put it out there. Because, like I said, I mean, this is a great medium, it's a great platform, and there's a lot of good student athletes across the country doing great things. And I think some of that local talent that we're cultivating here at Vanderbilt definitely would like to, receive some acknowledgement and actually hear something, being heard. Because I tell you what, the greater Atlanta area produces so much talent, as you know.
Coach, it's a gold mine down here. That's why I love having you on, because I want to help you out myself. I want to do what I can to help you because I respect you and I love what you do, and John loves what you do. We want to help you out. We can't do so much. We want to give the people this platform to hear from you because you are a great man, a father figure. I've seen you on the sidelines and through tough times keep your guys engaged. I watched you on the sidelines keep them engaged, and I know I can speak firsthand of how you are with your players, and I appreciate I can actually go on air and say, yes, I know this man personally. I know how he coaches his players. I can tell a parent who asks me about you, yes, you can trust your son with Coach Derek Mason. So I want to tell you that when people ask me about you, Coach, it's always a glowing endorsement about you and your program.
Well, again, that's we get into this game, not what we can do for ourselves. I've been blessed and fortunate to do more, in this profession than I ever would have dreamed when I started 22 years ago. And those blessings have been plentiful. But I'm commonly engaged with the pursuit of trying to make sure that our student athletes and any student athlete, whether it's a person coming to camp, whether it's somebody who comes by my office, okay, and is just looking at a school, I try to engage all young people because I'm a teacher at heart. And, in education, I believe there's power. And, if we can continue to properly educate and properly invest in our young people, there's an opportunity to help them grow and reach, new highs and new goals, as we continue to move forward. Because it's important that we do our job. And my job is more than just coaching football. It's impacting lives as best I can.
Now, Coach, if you want JR's endorsement to, take it up a notch to the next level, you hook him up with like a sweater, a parka, maybe some winter socks, for when he goes out in the cold. That will really jump it up. Like he will.
You know what? I got some swag coming for you guys. I got some swag coming for you guys. I went down to had a chance to actually go up. I'm in the Bristol, Connecticut yesterday for the ESPN car wash, and great time. Obviously, great coaches in the FCC, but with that, we always go represent here in Nashville at the highest level. So we had a nice little outfit, nice little swag outfit, and what I will do is make sure that we push some swag your way, because if you're gonna represent in Atlanta, then you gotta represent properly. We got to be able to push you some Vanderbilt swag and make sure that on occasion you can touch the faithful by being able to wear the Star V. So I'll make sure that I get those sizes and that we get it to you as soon as possible.
Now, Coach, I just want to say, JR, the genesis of this cold weather joke, Coach, JR hit a Titans game last year and he was freezing his butt off. This cat hits me up, like 10 minutes before he leaves for the game. He's like, yo, John, what do I do? I got to keep warm, man. What do I do? I got to layer up. I need a coat. I don't have a coat. What am I supposed to do, John?
Wow. Now, the last time I checked, you do have a phone so you can check the weather, right?
Right. Yeah. But see, he's a Florida man. See, this is a Florida man you're talking to. He is not prepared for anything coming down from the sky, right? And if it's not rain, he doesn't know about it.
Well, I get it. I spent the greater part of my youth in Arizona, so I know when you're in heat all the time, there's no need for a jacket. As I've moved across the country, here's what I realized. There's climate changes. There are climate changes, so you have to be proactive in making sure that you're always prepared. So make sure that you keep some apparel with you. Have a gym bag in the back of the car when you travel.
I will, Coach. I tell you what, I'll tell you what. John is not taking this. The snow in Nashville from President's Day. I was stuck at my house for 4 days on top of the hill in Nashville, and I was depressed. Yes, wow. I can't drive in snow, Coach. I can't drive in snow. John was trying to help me. I said, John, what am I doing? I'm stuck. I'm sick of eating these canned foods, sick of eating these saints. I can't get off my hill. So snow and cold weather, and I don't agree.
Hey, listen, I agree. I've been in the snow before, so I understand what that looks like. And I do know this, as the weather's changed here, in the Southeast over the last couple of years, and these winters have become, a little rougher. You start to see the snow accumulation, and it can be somewhat difficult, especially when you haven't driven in the snow often or a lot. So keep some snow chains with you. That's what I'll say if you're traveling here in February. You never know. February. Be careful.
Hey, Coach. Look, come from Orlando, living in Atlanta, going to school in Nashville. Snow's never been my friend. Like, I know in Atlanta, when we had an inch of snow in Atlanta, and the whole city shut down. And 25 was backed up. People left their cars, abandoned their cars. So I've never been in climates where snow has been friendly. So I did learn how to drive in snow one of these days. I don't know. I told John I'll learn one of these days. I see, the joke is, Coach, would JR learn how to ride a bicycle first or drive in snow first? That's the joke around here.
Oh, man. We're coming at one another. I see you now.
Yeah, that's
I
the joke.
see it. Well, wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I found out about snow, serious snow, when we lived in Minnesota. Okay. I mean, occasionally, you come out, you see somebody backing out of their driveway, and, getting on a snowmobile, heading to work. And, that's when you got snow on the ground. And for me, it was a rude awakening. I've never seen snow for almost 4.5 months straight. There was some ice or some snow. And that's it's dark in the morning, it's dark at night. So when I go to work, when I was with the Vikings, I'd go early in the morning and it'd be dark. I'd come home and it'd be dark. So it almost felt like it was 24 hours of no daylight. And those temperatures were frigid. Springtime, summertime, beautiful. Wintertime, extremely long. So I'll tell you, stay in the South.
Coach, you have to tell me twice, Coach. You don't tell me twice. I told John I'll never leave and go north of Nashville if I don't have to.
There you go. There you go. I'm with you.
And Coach, what we'll do is after we get off this segment, we will send you our sizes and I'll send you our contact information, John, and our numbers, so you have all our information, Coach. So we'll be in contact with each other, Coach. Because guess what, Coach, we're gonna support you. Cause we promised you that. Like I said, anytime you want to come on, let us know, and we'll do it for you, Coach. And we thank you for your time today, because Coach, we love talking to you, and we're glad to have you on this long on the show with us. We appreciate it, Coach.
Well, thank you for having me. You gentlemen take care. And like I said, you're now part of the Commodore family, so anchor down.
Anchor down, that's right, Coach. Coach Derek Basin, anchor down on the Bossman Show. Coming up next, it's the Boss Report.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is a simple one. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft, whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft. Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
Hello, college basketball fans. This is Donnie Tyndall, former head basketball coach, and we're getting ready to have a top three with Tyndall, with JR the Bossman and John, myself, as we analyze the college basketball season team by team, break down stats and facts, and give you all the basketball scoop across the country on a weekly basis. We hope you'll join us and look forward to talking hoops with you on the Bossman Show.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.